Welcome to Kirby Courses. In this video, I will show you 10 tips and features you might haven't heard of yet. The first tip is about global field definitions and how to group them. So you wrote a nice blueprint and add more and more fields to it. At some point, you probably discovered the global field definitions. They turn this into that. Way better already. But I guess you already know how to use them. Add a fields folder to your blueprints folder and store the fields in separate files. I won't go into detail about this. Now here comes the interesting part. You can actually put these files into subfolders. In the blueprint, you can then use them like this. Why, you may ask? Well, at some point your fields folder will look like this. Grouping them makes it way easier to find fields that belong together. Next up, let's talk about the text area field. Do you know you can define the buttons you want to display for individual text areas? Simply write buttons and list the ones you want. The built-in text area only has a few buttons, but using a third-party text area like the Visual Markdown Editor or the Enhanced Text area, you have some more options. That way you can suggest a specific formatting to your client. For example, only showing the second and third headings. Now we've got something I didn't know for a long time. Thanks Lukas Bestle for letting me know about this. Let's say we have a few pages with images. On this page there's this beautiful Unsplash image we want to share. Looking at the public link, we can see the sorting number preceding the page name. So when we copy this link and at some point change the order of our pages, this screen greets us instead of the cat. Well, it's totally reasonable, but is there a better way? Yep, just remove the content folder and the sorting number from the public link. Now the built-in route forwards to the file URL with the correct sorting number. Number 4 is just a quick tip that's helpful when working with clients. You can limit the accepted file size in a blueprint. Just set the size option to any number of bytes. 1 million is about 1 megabyte. Those 12 megabytes straight out of camera images will now be rejected, and your server will be happy too. Another thing you can do to assist your client is displaying useful information in the panel. Every field can display a help text like this. I often provide information about the resizing or cropping of images here. If you need more room or want to offer general help on a page, you can use the info field. Provide a label and some text and it will look like this. Tip number 6 comes in handy if you have complex structure fields or if you just like to display fields in columns. That's how the normal structure field looks like. We can easily use a larger modal by setting the modal size option to large. Voila, more space for fields. You can customize the panel experience even more by using a panel CSS file. In your config.php, set the panel style sheet to the path of a CSS file. In that file you can do whatever you want. Well, maybe not everything. A better example would be to display your company name or website under the login form. Let's do this. In the after pseudo element of the login form, we write in our company name, set the text align to center, display it as a block element, add a margin on the top, and set the color to a light gray. You could also display your logo here or add a support mail address or phone number. Number 8. Adding icons to your panel. To differentiate pages or highlight special pages, you can set an icon on the blueprint. For this folder blueprint, the folder icon fits perfectly. You can use every icon in the Font Awesome database. Using the search icon will result in this outcome. But you can't only use icons for pages. There's also an icon option for most fields. And it works exactly the same, super easy. Icons can really help explaining field functions. The echo helper is tip number 9. The echo, or shorter E helper, is a combination of the PHP if condition and the regular echo. For example, in a menu, you can use this to check if the page is active. Way shorter than an if condition. You don't have to define a value for the false condition if you don't need it. Last but not least, template-specific assets. You can automatically load CSS files and JavaScript files according to the current page template. You can simply use the CSS helper you probably use anyway and type in @auto in there. If you have a folder called templates and a CSS file for the current template, it will automatically get loaded. This works pretty much the same with JavaScript files. Just add the templates folder to the JS folder. Having a look at the source code, you can see it works already. Alright, that was the first episode of Kirby Courses. I hope you heard at least one thing you didn't know yet. Thank you for watching and see you next time.